Hi everyone, McBeard here, back with another deck guide for you. I've been playing a little Shupe, and I think that he's actually got a pretty cool home in almost any deck that can afford it because you have so much flexibility, and the card is actually pretty decent in most situations because of Shupe Hunter. Shupe Hunter is almost always what you need at the time when you play it, and even if you don't, he's got a couple other extra cool modes as well. So I'm loving Shupe right now, and I played a lot of EITHNE Shupe today on stream, and I did okay. I think that the games that I lost were probably more throw related and maybe not very favorable to the current landscape of control right now in the meta. But I think that even outside of after things get changed, maybe in a future hotfix we heard are coming, I think that this deck could still work pretty well, but it does use EITHNE, because EITHNE is just a great leader, and it does use Scorch, and it does use Epidemic, but this is a Shupe list, and it actually, I think, is a much more interesting way to play if you want to really exercise EITHNE's strength. All right, Shupe's surprise. So, I don't really think that this deck is really built around Shupe. I would say that this deck can afford to run Shupe, and Shupe is a really good card. So the main thing about Shupe is that Shupe has a lot of great options on Shupe Hunter specifically, and those options on Shupe Hunter are, Shupe Hunter is a 4 strength unit, and it's either deal 9 damage randomly assigned, destroy a random enemy unit, play a random card from your deck, apply a row effect a random row effect to a directed enemy's row, and finally boost all the cards in your hand by 1 or 2. It's random. So the last one was one of the reasons why I started running this, because I felt like playing Shupe as hand buff would be just so good in general because you just get extra value out of some of your even low cards. And I also run EITHNE because I just think that buffing in hand and going into round 1 with hyper strong cards, like it basically overtunes all your cards, right? It just cranks them all up. But unlike Philavandrel, who that's all he can do, and he can only do it for 1 point per card, this is a little bit different because you don't always get that option. So when you don't get that option, I was exploring which Shupes I would prefer. I think that Shupe Mage is pretty bad. You know, it seems like it's just absolute insanity for the most part. I can't even remember what the Shupe Mage does most of the time, but some of the effects are just random and terrible. Shupe Knight actually has a lot more very basic things that he can do. And Shupe Knight isn't even that bad either. Shupe starts at 8 strength, so his effects are quite lower on the lower in scale. So it's boost by 4, damage by 4, destroy an artifact, lock a unit, or gain resilience. Now, the gain resilience is very, very interesting, but only in a matchup where you feel like you can play it and not get scorched. And it's not often that you're in that situation, just because there's a lot of scorch out there, there's a lot of control out there. But that resilient Shupe does come into play. Getting 12 off the Knight and removal at 4 is also fine as well. I also think that the artifact destroying mode is pretty good when you consider the other things you could get. If you don't hit it, you can get something else that's realistically important. So lock, artifact, more control options, more just straight up points from the Knight. But the Shupe Hunter, man, can just do so much stuff. And the main thing about Shupe Hunter that I like the most is the random row effect on the enemy's row. I find this to be super good. First of all, I haven't done it a lot because I tend to boost hand or sometimes just deal damage on some boards, but if there's a board that supports playing at row or it's round 3, man is it good. You play Dragon's Dream or Ragnarok, and it's actually not that uncommon because there's not that many row effects. It's like playing Old Woodland Spirit. You play a body and weather, and now you've put your opponent in a rough position, and I enjoyed playing it so much that I actually put in Nivellen in this deck. I put in Dragon's Dream in this deck, and I'm getting a ton more value out of the Vrya Dragoon, which moves, and I'm also running Kirin, which moves. So there's not a ton of movement, but there's enough movement to cater to Dragon's Dream, which sometimes you can play round 1 on the Witchers. Your opponent really can't do anything at that point. If you're still ahead after playing Dragon's Dream, and with EITHNE you can be, just use those extra 3 points with EITHNE and then play Dragon's Dream, and your opponent basically can no longer play into the round. Because if you pass on them and they take 9 to 12 points of damage, they're going to go down too many cards. You play it late. It's a round sealer or just a game winner. Love Dragon's Dream, especially with Nivellen, especially when your opponent is stacking for you. Epidemic. Obviously, EITHNE can line it all up. Kirin, like I said, a lock is very important, plus the movement. Xavier, because it just wins versus some Skellige and monsters matchups, and maybe if you get Sihil in the graveyard, you can just crush it in there. Turn it into a cube. Just think Xavier is just very easy to run him. Witchers, unfortunately, gotta run him. And then the bronze pack, what did I talk about any other important? Primordial Dow actually is something I didn't talk about. I honestly believe that it is really, really important to just have a big body unit. You counteract some of the stuff that monsters are trying to do with large unit. You counteract some of the stuff that EITHNE is trying to do, lining up a Scorch or an Epidemic just by being at such a huge disparity. 9 isn't high commitment enough just to straight up Scorch it. Plus, Tibor and Aquarquax pull it out for you, and that's great because you better believe I love a 4-point Tibor. So I just think that Primordial Dow, also if you get the hand boost on Primordial Dow, you can just save it as your last play. And, you know, it just smokes whatever your opponent has. I've won games that would have otherwise been ties because I had one more ping of EITHNE after I dropped the Primordial Dow after my opponent's big finisher. It is just very surprising, and sometimes it can just help you pull ahead in a round you need to win. Anyway, 9 points is a lot to play in one play. So that's why I run it. I like it a lot. It conflicts with Scorch. Sometimes, Epidemic is swappable for Glorious Hunt. I think Glorious Hunt is also fine, just because it deals with immune units. And sometimes the Epidemic, it just doesn't work out for me. You know, I'm running some low strength units, and sometimes I really need to play that removal early, and I don't want to waste the Epidemic on it. This isn't an artifact deck, so like I'm not playing nothing like some of the other decks that really are abusing this card. So sometimes I put in Glorious Hunt. And in some of the highlights, you may see me run Glorious Hunt, which is fine. I think that there's a lot of stuff you can swap here. And then the bronzes have been shifting a lot. So these are the ones that I'm running right now. But yeah, Blue Mountain Elite, Skirmisher, the Bride Officer, the Panther, and the Bowman, and the Archer are all removal pieces. So I have the Dimeridium Bomb just as a play, as well as also you can knock Sahil into the graveyard and then Lemons it immediately, or if your opponent reses it, then you don't have to worry about it in round 2 or 3. So there's stuff like that. Dimeridium Bomb also, you know, it fights against traps because you don't have to play a unit to do it. I'm mixed on some of these bronzes, but I think Dimeridium Bomb for the most part has been fine. Just sucks to draw when you need better cards. Doesn't happen that often. It's also something that can't get boosted by Shupe. So, you know, there's some stuff that you can build your own thing here, but I think it definitely needs to be this shallow to accommodate some of the powerhouse plays of this deck. And you'll see, I'll show you in the gameplay. Sorry for the million years of explanation. I'll definitely put a gameplay marker as I show you one of these games here. Now, I'm not sure how the audio is going to be because I played these games with Spotify playing. So I'm going to try to filter out the music so I don't have to demonetize it. But, you know, if it's gross, I'll just let the music play. I've done it before. And enjoy the gameplay. Like and subscribe if you like the video. And I'll be back with another deck guide very soon. Thanks, guys. It's a pretty good hand. I would like Xavier, though. So I'm going to try to find him. Alright, well, I don't want to draw another Witcher, so forget it.
Nigh is the time of the white frost and white light.
Oh, I mean, like, I feel like the general balancing of the game is pretty decent. It's just there's some stuff in there that everybody's like, ooh, that's strong. And, like, since it's not so many things, it's like a small, like, there's like a section of cards that are just a little bit overtuned. And it's just like, those are the cards that everybody's playing. And it just, like, I'd rather there'd be, like, half the cards have weird balance. So at least people are playing, like, more cards. Like, seeing Skellige right now is already pretty rare.
Swords I smile
I just want to
at,
establish
weapons
this.
laugh to scorn.
Don't really care about this card right now. The beta to Gwent Christmas? The beta to Gwent? I mean... like, every game gets updates. So, what are you even saying? I mean, we're not... I know I'm saying that we're, like... It feels like we're still betaing, but I mean, every game gets updates. It's not like... I tossed the bomb without the sapper in my hand. Smart move.
You're dead already.
Like, everything gets updates. Every game that is multiplayer gets updates. Did I miss something here? Oh yeah, he copied one. Yeah, I'm gonna really need Xavier Lemons here to really stop this, I think.
They can hide, but there is no escape.
Aha!
Midwinter 2.0. I mean, I like the game. I've played a lot of this game, and I plan on playing more and more and more because the game is still like very exciting to explore certain combos, and anticipating certain nerfs means that I can practice decks that I think are going to be good after those nerfs. So you guys can, like, the people who just want to play the busted stuff right now, just are, in my opinion, are wasting their time. Like, if you get your high numbers on the thing and you can feel good about it, but if you know that something is OP, try to play something else. You'll adjust better. This is my Witcher turn, right? Got a bad feeling about Scorching here, though. But, I mean, I have Tactical Advantage, so I shouldn't have to worry about that at all. There you go, Lambert. Shoot them both. Just shoot them both. Just shoot them both. Is this card Skellige at least decent? I mean, Skellige has some good builds. It's the faction that I just have played the least by a large margin all the time. Every meta, everything. Yeah, I'll show you my. I have like 147 Skellige wins, and like 700 to 600 for every other faction. So, with Nilfgaard being the second lowest, still almost 400 wins though. I mean, that's nothing compared to some of the win rates of some other people. The game's foundation is so solid, though, that the next... Ooh, you don't say. We keep this, too. We keep this, too. I don't want to play any of these cards. I think all of these cards are worth keeping, and I want them all. And I actually think I'm going to take card burns. Like, what would I rather have? I mean, you could make an argument that I actually don't need the Dragoon with Nivellen, and that argument would be fine. And he's playing Froth, obviously, so I probably would. Onward, Fryhead! Ha! That guy only has a tier 1 deck due to a broken card. Which is Froth.
Hey, listen here. Listen well.
Could be Lippy. I mean, he plays it now then, but I think he just wants to res those Queen's cards. I think he needs those double round.
I smell a leak.
Yeah. I don't think this is Lippy. It's not Lippy enough. I could be wrong. He could open with Lippy. Because if you open with Lippy, you get Morkvarg and stuff, so maybe he does open with Lippy. Show me Xavier, though. Some weak shit right there. Oh, well, we have lots of locks.
I'm so tired.
Skellige running 2 spears is fine, but I don't think there's anything else. But I mean, there could be Sahil. Could be Sahil. Pop. Play this piece of garbage that I'm going to swap out after this game if I can remember. If I can remember. McBeardless, it's true. Prometheus, how you doing?
Across the wide, somber sea, I will sail.
Blood and neck ends. Similian Watt.
Gonna keep 2 more pings though because Scorch. Seems silly to not keep those. One might say it was silly to even use that one there, but Alright, there's the last. I mean, he could play Cambi and dunk the Scorch, but in that case, Scorch is protecting us from dunking on for dunking Dragon's Dream. So, if he plays Cambi, I mean. I'm a bad Epidemic player. I'll tell you that much. I'm only running 1 of, and I'm thinking I might just drop it for Glorious Hunt. But sometimes you can line up a really good Epidemic. In fact, oftentimes you can. It's just not lately.
I'm so very
Lot of the lack of units. Yeah, because there's no wounded units, right? Even the Drummond Warmonger is like considered bad artifact removal. I think I'm just gonna play the Epidemic here as just like a stall. I don't care. It's not really about gaining points at this moment. It's about setting up the Dragon's Dream. Especially considering he has so much removals. He has a lot of removal stuff. When the Warmonger was seen best artifact removal on PTR. Yeah, he's kind of like really slow playing too, isn't he? I mean, I do have Nivellen, but I could just Scorch this right now. It's fine. He's not setting up those. He's not fraying those Drummonds at all. So I mean, I don't know. But like once I move the Drummond, they all copy on the same row. So it's like they're really bad, right? Considering they all just basically die because they need to be damaged first, and they start at 4. Wasn't it better to discard Epidemic then, so the bear dies later to Dream? I mean, whatever. If I lose by a point, then you got me.
We'll defend our homes, no matter what.
It's a melee only, my man.
Yorvith will guide us.
I'll help you out here.
Always willing, pal.
How does a man Scorch? He has more froth, right? For sure he does.
Ah, sod it all. A guest is a guest.
Boom, 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 boom. We're just barely ahead here. Oh, we 100% win now. Oh, it's a tie. No, we win with EITHNE. Ooh, man, that last play. Sorry, my man. Not quite good enough. Take that, Cambi. Pow. Pow, that's right. Oh! Oh man, no Shupe in that game, but the whole point, I thought Scorch was going to be blocking the Dream discard. I said it earlier, right? It was a great play. I mean, I've seen it before. But I had, as they say, the cojones. Ooh, the skin. There's just no need to be greedy there. I could just kill Imlerith. He loses like what was upwards of 20 points. Plus, he has no way to play Pulverize. Like, basically, it enabled his whole game plan, and that was really stupid of me. I mean, he was playing such low-value units earlier, I just assumed that he had something else that was good. I don't know. We win that game, though, if we just torch Imlerith. Don't we just win that game?
Death awaits us all.
We have Epidemic, so that's pretty damn good. We also have lots of ways to do one ping. This is a really... I feel like EITHNE versus Erika's Queen, no matter how they tune EITHNE, is always going to be really hard for Erika's Queen.
Oh, my little egg.
It's not a queen. I mean, unless you're like a lore maniac, that looks like the Erika's Queen to me, but... Do I Scorch this? I feel like Scorch is really good late for this matchup.
Getting to work.
Why does Queen have an accent? And not do monster taunts? I have no idea.
You're dead already.
Queen is the middle one? Oh, in the picture.
What wants you?
Yeah, I know. I think I've seen this picture. I think I've seen it. Yeah, the meatball, right? The meatball. Well, it's possible they change it. I mean, the Epidemic protects me later anyway. I can Scorch this, I think.
Aha! Ah.
It's possible that they could just change the leader to Erika's Swarm and just have this. I mean, it's. I don't know. Maybe there's a way around it with words. Erika's Duke. Erika's Duchess. It is a behemoth, but behemoth is already a card.
Kisparin.
Pass Sereno. Pass on even cards. You know I love it. And we got to be careful because we used our Scorch, and that's like Glusty Warp, so we have to see him lining up for... He already used one Erika's Swarm, or Monster's Nest, or Erika's Nest it's called now. That's going to be good, that's going to be good, that's going to be probably okay. Can probably get rid of this one, though. It's because the reach thing is a real problem for this card. We're good, right? I don't know if I want a long round against a passive leader, though. Oh, but I get the cards, though, right? Get the card? It's too good, right? Can Lusty Gusty take that? Lusty Glusty? Anything that could destroy those 4 things could take it, I think. Do we care about any of this stuff? Don't know if we do, but I'll be... Because if he plays Spirit Tip and then eats Spirit Tip and does stuff like that, I gotta have lemons at the ready. At the ready. My matchup against Erica's Queen is limited to the AI user.
Climb an L.
Okay, this will be good. What would it be though? What would Erica's Queen run? Ruin? Or would it be Ruin or something like that? It is Ruin. You can kill Ruin and then Xavier, and then lock the next Ruin. Is that good? Like we can handle a little bit of Spirit Tip stuff. I think we're gonna do this.
Aha!
As ordered.
Why is practice just Queen? Probably just so you can test to see how cards work, and like I mean, honestly, like practice is really just about testing out like your hand situation, like what your hand might look like. Mulligans and stuff, how cards actually work if you're not quite sure. Oh, what do I like here? I feel like it's... I think I want to...
Shupe paint these smeared Gwenty cards. Like you? Yeah, yeah.
How sweet it is. You know, the problem is with weather, though. This is something that I didn't consider before, and the AI taught me this. If this was a frost, it would be bad because the frost ticks on Erica's Queen's turn, so she gets the spawn. But the fact that I actually can... Now she's never going to want to go on that row. Or she's going to stack everything on this row, and then I just Dragon's Dream it. No matter what, Dragon's Dream is disgustingly good, and Nivelin's going to be disgustingly good. Shupe is the closest thing to Dagon we have, my friends. And when he's not Dagon, he's 5 Hawker supports.
When the white frost comes, do not eat the yellow snow.
One is the most important number and also the loneliest number when it comes to Erica's Queen, so saving the epidemic for like the next Erica's Nest is probably going to be okay. But man, is the Dragon's Dream going to be sweet in this game. Ooh, it's going to be sweet. You feel like... Yeah, the Erica's Nest is really important early. Really important late. Because you only get the 2 of them. Like, it really... You can't get them out of the graveyard and stuff. Like, it's not like Froth. You can renew it now, I guess. I didn't really think about that. I mean, monsters do like playing renew sometimes. It's gonna be great when I move all of these things to this row here, right? Like Nivellen now, and then just Dragon Stream when it finally gets there. I think that's fine. I think Nivellen now is. Well, then again, is Epidemic not good here too? Is this the he didn't play the Nest. He'll play the Nest still. He won't play Glusty into three spiders, right? Does it? He's gonna play the Nest now. Oh, Vran Warrior. I can kill the Vran Warrior.
Blood and neck ends.
He's definitely setting up for
Familiar
Glusty.
Vart.
He may Glusty this. He's looking for that machine gun Vran. That rat-a-tat-tat. Show me another nest, though. Just show me another nest. Ooh, with the forktail plays. Pretty sure I do it. And then Dragon's Root. Yeah, there it is. No Glusty for you. I mean, just thinking about how dominant that was going to be. Pretty close. Yeah, maybe we can actually get out of this rank today. Maybe we can get out of this rank. Let's see. I wanted to make some changes to this.